intros. No, I wish I did. We are live on YouTube. Hey YouTube family, how y'all doing out there? It's been a minute, but I'm back. Right? You know that on again, off again that I have with YouTube. Cause yeah, YouTube is a five of hearts, and that's my challenging comic card. So this is something that we learn in cardology is like where we resonate with certain things, and then other things is a little bit more. I don't know. That's what YouTube is with me. It's a challenge, right? And I had a challenge today getting on here. I couldn't get live. It kept saying record only. That's why I don't do YouTube. Cause I just want to enter the room and just do what I do, the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. So let's pop over here on IG and see who's on there. Y'all know what I do. I gotta talk to my IG family and tell them I'm over here on YouTube. So hey IG, how y'all doing out there? I'm over here on YouTube Live on my channel. If you go to my link tree, you can click on my YouTube. It's Diamonds8 and come over here and join me. We are going to be talking about all things metaphysics. We're going to be breaking down some questions that people are asking all the time, and I'm going to be doing some live readings. So join me on YouTube, right? And we have the amazing Kai, and and me and the name. What did he call you earlier? Because that's easier for me.
What did he call me earlier?
He called you what? AKA. What's your AKA?
K or Konami codes. Konami.
Yes, that's what Konami codes. I was like, okay, I should be able to keep up with that one. So we're over here. So come on over to my YouTube, Diamonds8, okay? And join me. Bring your questions. If you got questions, come over here with your questions because I'm going to be taking questions, doing readings on YouTube. Peace. So come on over and bring your questions over here. Your questions on cardology, astrology, numerology. What are your questions? What about these sciences that you really want to know about? That's what we're going to get into tonight. We're going to get into the weeds because I get questions all of the time. And then people can go back and look at the video. And you can go on my page because I was on Black Magic. Woo. I was on Black Magic. It was so dope. I can't even tell y'all. I have not stopped that high. And it's up to 25,000 views on that video. So I'm just saying. So yeah, I was on Black Magic, and it was so dope. I've been talking to people ever since then, doing readings and stuff like that. So it was so cool. So go over to Black Magic, and I know you follow him, and listen to the video. So yeah, come on over, fam, to YouTube. Diamonds8 is in my link tree. If you can't find me, the flyer is on my page. And join me. Bring some questions over here. We want to get it up. We want to get it popping. This is Jack of Hearts Day. This is my transformation card. You're going to see the shenanigator. So come on over there. Kim, hey Kim. Oh my God. My twin is in here. That's so dope. So I will see y'all over here, fam. Peace. All right, Cam is in the house. Okay. Finally, Cam. Finally. Hey, June. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody who is on the live. Hey, Tony. You don't call me no more Tony, so I shouldn't even talk to you. But anyway, yes, his show. Brother Rich show was fire. So yeah, I had a good time that night. I'm still recovering from that, right? So we're gonna get into the questions. You called this week, you did? Oh my gosh. You called the wrong number, Tony, because it didn't show up. Oh, that was when we talked. We talked like 2 weeks ago, Tony. Here we go, fam. That part. So what is the super chat? How do we get to that super chat? Kyle, how do we get there? What is a super
So,
chat? Do you have to have a certain something to do the super chat?
well, I think you already have it. The super chat is for once you get to over 1,000 subscribers, which you more
Okay.
than have.
Mm-hmm.
So the super chat will come up once someone sends it. You'll see it pop up on your screen, and you also have a little section in your comment
Okay.
section.
Okay, so they have to go to, okay, so if you want a reading, you got to go to the super chat and purchase a reading, okay? 99 cents ain't going to work. I'm telling y'all right now. So, yeah, get that super chat. And is that Magic? Look, oh hey Magic, hey, I saw you with my daughter today. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Well, I was watching YouTube, but I was mostly watching Aquarius Maximus because I be listening and stealing because I'm just saying, she is so dope. So I got to get her information when I can. You're not seeing a dollar sign? What does that mean? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why we got to figure this out. I believe Miss Nina has to go into her settings as well. See, that's what I'm saying. So what am I supposed to do in my settings? Come on, fam. That's what we talking about. So my settings. And what does it say in my settings? Hotkeys, audio, virtual background. Doesn't say anything about super chat.
No, it wouldn't show you on StreamYard. For that, you would have to go to your YouTube website.
My YouTube, I have a YouTube website?
Oh, yes. You have a whole studio.
Oh, so that is the YouTube studio then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's on my phone. I have that right here. Let me see what that says then. My YouTube studio. So I have to go in there in setting. Okay, it says earn, right? Is that it? Is that what they're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
That
that's a
is
part. It says be a partner, membership, engage with fans, start one-time interactive purchases. I love learning.
it should be something that says enable.
Enable. It says I have. It says get notified, learn about applying. I don't think I'm eligible because it says learn eligibility data, learn more. I don't have enough I'm not eligible. That's what it's saying. We'll let you know when you're eligible.
Did they change the qualification? I thought it was once you got to 1,000 subscribers.
It
You
says
almost
I
have
have
two.
to have 3,000 watch hours. Right?
So you need a little bit more content.
Yep, y'all got to get me. I'm almost there. I am at 2,778. If I'm right, I
Oh,
don't. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it's saying. It says you're not. It says learn. It says learn about more. So YouTube partner program, is that the same thing?
so what we can do and what people are saying in the chat also is that you can just have your Cash App up
Yeah, it's
like you do,
there. Uh-huh.
hmm
But I
and
want to
people can hit
figure out about that super chat thing, boy. That thing was hot on Black Magic. I was like, okay. She said, super chat. You have over 1,000. I do, Indigo, but I don't know how to turn it on because it's telling me right now. It's saying, you not eligible. Say get notified when you're eligible for what? It says, let me see. It says apply now. So I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the show. We're going to get to the show. We're going to get to the questions and all of that kind of stuff. Let's see what y'all doing. Oh, wow. My one I put up with Black Magic, it got 208 views today. So that's dope, right? Y'all looking at that one. That's what it said, right?
Yeah, shout out to Brother Rich. Shout out to Black Magic 363, their channel. Shout out to Magic LaCroix and that magnificent interview earlier with Aquarius Maximus. Please check that out as well. And please hit up Mama Diamond's Cash App if you would wish for a reading tonight. We're going to be answering any and all questions, but if you want specifically a reading, her Cash App is on the screen.
Yes. And I am ready. 11 University for all things my books. Okay. All things my books. 11. I wrote these books, and especially Cardology workbook. I wrote this with the intention of us being able to have the conversation while we're doing this. We can open up the book. Let me see if I can bring the book up here. Y'all know I am very challenged, but I'll try. Let me see if I can bring up my workbook. And let me see, where's my workbook? Is that my workbook? Let's see. And see, oops. If I can bring it up and show y'all what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, where did we go? Me and StreamYard, don't do that. Don't scare me like that. I thought I lost y'all. Okay, there goes the workbook. So, so I got to hit share. I got to go to present, right? Present.
Yes, ma'am.
Share the screen. Okay, so share the screen. And this is the screen that we're sharing. And this is my workbook. And this is, that's the United States birthday. Oh, man, you cannot make that up. I don't even know how we got to that page, but this is the United States birthday. The United States is 68 years old. And this is what we use the book for, because we go on the grand solar and we get a chance to see everything that's happening in the United States. Isn't that dope? Everything that's happening in the United States shows up on these screens. Now, okay, Kay has the question. So let me stop talking. Go ahead with the questions. Because I just said I would be going for hours, right? Like I do every day on Clubhouse, right?
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So one question we have as you bring up the grand solar spread is, what is the grand solar spread? And what is the significance between the spiritual spread or the perfect spread and the life spread or the mundane spread?
That's advanced. Yeah, that's advanced. That's somebody who is advanced and wants to know that one. When we look at the cards, we're looking at us in here where we are now, which is called chaos. The pure spread is before we came here, and we like to say it's in the womb of creation. And the pure spread is also connected to the Akashic records. So yeah, that's very advanced. You know, when you're looking at the pure spread, where you sit at, it's telling you it's like we can look at it backwards. It's like if we're looking at the life spread, that challenging karma card is what we want to become. So we're looking at that as being the benchmark to what could be perfection. So that challenge is, once you master those challenges, then you are now in contact with the pure spread. And remember, we have 13 cards. So each card has a connection to a challenge that you didn't do in your past life. So the pure spread tells us that. It's like, my challenge is the Queen of Spades. And, I have my stuff on the wall, so I can look at it. I print, you can also order the Grand Solar Squares. And that tells me, what am I trying to do? In the pure spread, where I'm sitting at, it is giving me an understanding of the challenges that I came back, and with it being the Queen of Spades, yes, that's a whole, like, if you were taking a course, that would be midway to the end for us to really get to really talking about that pure spread. That's really advanced cardology, right?
Indeed, indeed. The next question is, can you speak about the significance of the jokers? The Joker essentially embodies the energy of all four suits, right?
Well, the Joker is that there's the that day of the year that we're. Let me see if I can go to. No, I can't. I don't want to do that. So the Joker, when we look at the Joker, we use the King of Spades because the Joker has the ability to use all 52 of the cards. So we look at the King of Spades to do the Joker's life path because the Joker does not have a specific card assigned to it. So the Joker stands alone. The Joker is not connected in the way that we would think of it with the jacks. The Joker stands alone as that card that is able to pull from all of the cards. So, and that is. I mean, you got some advances and some questions here.
you you gonna love this next one because this next one actually plays off of what we spoke about in Clubhouse today. Um, how is the relationship with the Eight of Diamonds and the Three of Clubs?
Ooh, Sheebies. I've been sitting with that, for a long time because it's my hidden energy. And the Three of Clubs, it's a card that gets a bad rap, and it's Kobe Bryant's card. So it tells you it's a masterful card. So the Three of Clubs for me represents the creative part of my brain, and getting it on into books. I've written over 10 books. The Three of Clubs, it's a friction card. It's Mars Saturn, and you don't want those two planets together. If you have those two planets together in your chart, you want to really see what it's playing off of, because Mars and Saturn, Mars wants to go, and Saturn is saying it's not time. So it's about the friction. So the friction, depending on if it's a square or if it's whatever it's doing, is going to tell the intensity of it. But the Three of Clubs has threes are ruled by Jupiter, and then clubs are ruled by Mercury. So we can kind of offset that friction with those other attributes of those planets. But the thing of it is that Jupiter is going to expand upon it. So if you're in something and you're working on it, Jupiter is going to expand upon the friction, but that you being able to use that to achieve the things that you need to do because it's Saturn. So the friction could be beneficial. That movement that you need could help you to achieve the things that you want. But on this plane, that's not going to be easy if you don't have the understanding, because as you're moving through something and you hit something and you feel like this is the end or this is too problematic, you may give up. And threes are about diversifying. Threes are the expression. In numerology, when we look at the one, the core of the one is you. You being able to harmonize and you being able to stand alone with that one energy, because twos are looking to harmonize it. So you getting into the harmony and the understanding of the thing that you're doing. And then the three helps you to express it. So if you're using friction and you're using things that are not necessarily beneficial, you're going to be the person in the world that people not necessarily want to be bothered with, because you're expressing yourself from your inability to understand what that one means to you. One is about independence. It's about being able to stand alone when it's time to stand alone. So yeah, that was a good question. That was a good question because, the Three of Clubs hasn't been something that I was able to really explain. I always use Kobe Bryant as a benchmark because you see, through everything in his life, he just rose to the occasion. And that would be the things that pushed him, his parents, anything around him that helped him to be great would be considered that friction, right? Excuse me. Hey, Jay. Oh boy. So
Yeah.
yeah, good question. Next
Thank you for that.
question.
Yes, ma'am. Next question is: can you touch on the seven of spades Venus card?
The seven of spades Venus card is the two of clubs. So you need more information to with that one. You want me to how does the seven of spades express itself, or what is the two of clubs? What is the two of clubs? Which way do you want me to go? Because when we think about, I just talked about twos, and twos want to express themselves. Now two of club, that's another card, that's Uranus Saturn. So yeah, that's another friction, right? Because you got the friction between Saturn and Uranus, but it's not really friction, it is downright war, right? Uranus and Saturn, they're very good together. When they're working together, we need Uranus and Saturn. It changes the game. But when they're not working well together, they are like two grumpy old men blowing up stuff, right? So the two of clubs, it definitely needs to be someone. I think of two of clubs children especially, they have to be raised well, because they have a king of clubs as their Mercury card. So education, and the more education that they have, the better. So that two of clubs, and then that's the Venus card to the seven of spades. So that's a very interesting life path, because transformation card is the eight of diamonds. But that two of clubs wants to be expressed, but it's a two, and it would work better, of course, in unions and communication. But what does Saturn and Uranus tell us, right? It's, you're working in Saturn, you're doing the things in Saturn, and you're looking for the crystallization. Uranus is generational. So the two of clubs in that seven of spades, it is in Mercury. You talking about, because we know the seven of spades is being a card of ancestors. You talking about someone that has a lot of communication with the other side, right? I think of the two of clubs as being very clairvoyant, definitely androgynous. I find the two of clubs to be a very androgynous card. So yeah, how the seven of spades expresses it, yeah, that is dealing with ancestry, right? Definitely dealing with being able to see beyond that veil, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Next question is: what is a quadration?
What is a quadration? Ooh, child. What is a quadration? In what? In astrology?
Well, they mean in the grand solar spread. Each chart is essentially a quadration, or every movement is a quadration.
Oh, I'm like, these y'all so deep. Man, I haven't had that. Okay, yeah. I don't know. That one really went over my head. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That was deep. Y'all deep. What is a quadration? Ooh, the grand solars they're 88 plate, 89 plates, and they're all yeah. Yeah. That's that what you're looking at in front of you would be considered that, right? So I don't know what the question is asking. What it is it? I don't know.
I think is what denotes the change, or what causes the supposed variation, or what, like how do the cards essentially know how to get to their next placement for those
Oh,
cards to move, because we have fixed cards and we have semi-fixed cards, so every card doesn't move the same.
Well, it's based on the comet. So when we're looking at the grand solar squares, if we're looking at this one, this is 68, right? So if we look at the United States, I'm pull up on my phone because that's a little small for me. So when we look at that, we're looking at the karma card. So we look at the United States, it's a Jack of Diamonds, right? So when we look at the Jack of Diamonds, the challenging common card is the Nine of Spades. It's telling us that that is the challenges that the Jack of Diamonds faces this year, but next year is going to be sitting in the house of the Jack of Spades. So it's going to be supported by that. So the common cards, it shows us if you're looking, if when you're looking at the grand solar square, where you're sitting at, the common cards are always going to be there. Like I'm an 8 of diamonds, so whenever I'm moving, my karma cards are always moving with me. So each year they're changing based on that. They're changing based on how they move around the grand solars. So the quadration is just us. You know, if you look at only Richmond's book, it shows you how to do that. If you have excuse me, the mystic textbook, it talks about quadrations in there. But I haven't heard that in years. I was like, ooh, wee. I have not. Thank goodness. You know, oof. That was a good one. So we just call them the grand solars. So the grand solars, they have karmas that attach to it. So when you're born, your 13 cards are set. And this is what we let me go back. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Oops. Let me go back to the so I stopped it. And let me see if I go over here. Okay, so I'll go to the okay, so I'm going to go to the life spread. So this is where we do the vast majority of our work because this is who you are. You know, and once we have mastered the life spread, you know, you can definitely look at everything now, your birth spread, your 7-year spread, and all of that kind of stuff. But that's not how I teach. You know, I want us to have, okay, so let's go back over here to StreamYard. And where is share? Presentation, slide, no, slides. Screen, share the screen. Boy, I'm so proud. Y'all so proud of me. I know you're proud of me in there because y'all have seen me mess up some stuff. Right? So this is the life spread, right? So like we had the question about the 7 of spades. Now 7 of spades sits Uranus, Jupiter, and the 2 of clubs is his Mercury card. So when we want to know about that, we're going to look at how that life path is progression. So we look at the 2 of clubs is Mercury, the King of clubs is Venus, and then the Jack of diamonds is the Mars card. And then we drop down to the 4 of hearts and we read left to right. So the 7 of spades is progressing to the 8 of diamonds. So that's the life path that we study. Because once we have an understanding about that life path and the cards and each card, so you have 13 cards in your hand, but each card has karma cards. It has a challenging and it has a supportive card. So once we get the understanding, and it's the holistic value. We're looking at the holistic energetic value of that card. The 7 of spades, sevens are ruled by Neptune. Spades are the elders, and spades are fire. So once we get the understanding of all of the elements and all of the attributes, then we get a better understanding of what we're looking at. And that's what we use the grand solars for. Because if you read in the book, it's going to tell you about the 7 of spades, but that's going to be based on the person who wrote the book. The grand solar squares never change. So as we look at the attributes of each one of these cards, we get a chance to see the significance. And like today's a Jack of hearts, right? So we're looking at the Jack of hearts. We're going to go up to where the Jack of hearts is sitting, and the Jack of hearts sits in Venus, Jupiter. And jacks are ruled by the number 11, which is mastery, and then hearts are the babies. So when we look at the Jack of hearts, which is the Christ principle, and and it's not it is not Jesus, it's the Christ principle. That's why, what is the Christ principle? What does that mean to you? You know, the love that the Christ has for the world and all of that is what, when we reference the Christ principle, that's what we're referencing. We're not referencing Jesus. We're referencing the principles that are attached to it. So today is a Jack of Hearts. So what happened today? You know, how did you feel today? You know, this is a grounded card. The Jack of Hearts is one of them cards that never moves, right? It sits there and everything moves around it. So if you have a Jack of Hearts in your spread that year, you're going to feel that power of that energy that doesn't move, but you're also going to draw people to you that might need something. You know, Jack of Hearts is it's called a sacrifice card, which I don't agree with, but people are going to be drawn to your power. Like, you know, the Christ, they say you just want to touch the hem of the garment. So the Jack of Hearts has those kind of attributes to it that year you may feel like, wow, you know, why are people coming to me? You know, what's really going on here? Because they sense that there's something about you that can help them with where they want to go, or visions and stuff like that. And that's what's so amazing about these cards. When we're holding these cards, we're holding energy. It's here on this grand solar square, but our ancestors went outside every day and used the energy. You know, we have spades. They put them in the deck of cards. They're in the tarot. All of these things are stuff that was put for us to be able to use. So how did you feel today? Did you feel, you know, grounded? Did you feel like I want to do some self-care? Did you feel like I really am, you know, looking at, you know, life from a higher perspective, right? And Jacks are youthful, you know, and the Jack of Hearts is the keeper of the love story. So today, did you want to be more, you know, emotionally connected to the people that that you're fond of and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, the Jack of Hearts has a lot of potential. So you want to be familiar with that card. Not by no strange coincidence, the card of Cardology is a 9 of clubs, and that's the Mercury card. And we're doing this is why I said, well, we're going to talk about Cardology today because it's the Mercury card. And what is Mercury? Communication. So all things Cardology, it's like when we get into the energy field, it's like we get closer to realizing the things that we want. It's like the perfect synchronicity of it all. It's like you could get up and you're like, I really wanted to get a reading today. I really, something, I'm picking up my books. I'm doing all of these things because the energy field is right for it. But 9 of clubs is also the card of sex. And, sex is the universal, 9 of clubs is the universal language card. So sex is a universal language. So you might have felt a little, frisky or whatever the word is. I don't even know. I said frisky. I just aged myself on Tony. So you may have felt like you wanted to be intimate with someone today. That 9 of clubs is a very sexy card. It, very attractive. And if you are 9 of clubs, Jack of Hearts, that energy pulls people in. So today is a day where you want to really explore all things communication, and sex is communication. It is. We communicating something, right? So yeah. That was a lot, right?
Yeah, going in.
Wow.
Our next question is, can you explain the King of Hearts?
I didn't hear no Cash App.
Well, funny enough, you say that. Someone has said that they were having trouble with the Cash App. Is it exactly the way it appears on the screen? Is the U capitalized?
Exactly the way it appears on the screen, and there's no way for me to put the Cash App the thing up there. So yeah, it's exactly the way it appears on Uranus 157. It's exactly. Somebody told me that they had to put the phone number in or something. I don't know. I don't know what Cash App is doing. It goes through right straight through for some people, and then it's a hiccup. So I don't know. But yeah, there's no way for me to put up the Cash App logo. But you can. I don't know what to say. That one just went. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Next question is,
know. I get no. I gotta do the King of Hearts.
oh, okay, yes, ma'am.
So what was it about the King of Hearts?
They just wanted you to describe the card.
So if we look at this is the life path for the King of Hearts. The King of Hearts sits in Mars, Mercury. So that tells us it's about communication, right? But if you have Mars and Mercury together, those are our personal planets. So when we think about the King of Hearts, we're going to think about someone that expresses themselves from their personality. So that king takes it to the next level because kings are ruled by number 13, and that's 13-4. So we know that kings come here to shake stuff up. 4 is not, it's foundational based on what you're working on. 4 is want. So we look at the 1, the 2, and the 3, the expression is what the 4 wants to solidify. So the King of Hearts is expressing itself, but it's expressing itself from a higher perspective because it's a king and it's a heart. So hearts are ruled by babies, and the hearts are our circulatory. Everything that's going through our body is going through our circulatory system, and it's the nutrients, the things that we need for us to survive. And the King of Hearts is that card that represents mastery of love, the master of love, master of the emotional things that we have in our life. But not because it is Mars Mercury is it by any kind of stretch of imagination going to be a card that is not very powerful. It's a very powerful card. Mars being the initiator, right? And about war. So you think about the King of Hearts. Yeah. Not necessarily thinking about the King of Hearts as being passive, right? Not necessarily at all, because that 13-4, that's a very disruptive. People don't want to live on the 13th floor. People on 13th is they can use that as, not the best number. But 13-4 is shaking it up. The King of Hearts come here to shake it up. And DMX was a King of Hearts. Biden is a King of Hearts, right? So they can walk softly and carry a big stick, right? And if we look at the life path, the Mercury card is the King of Diamonds. So that tells you a lot about the King of Hearts aesthetically. And we can see that in DMX. He had a flair. The King of Hearts is Mars, Venus. So it has a flair to it, but it is saying that you got to have balance. With that King of Diamonds, is bringing it into balance. And that's the one-eyed king. So it's a spiritual king. The King of Diamonds is about spirituality, because one eye means that you have to have trust, right? So, yeah, you got to have trust. So, yeah, King of Hearts, very powerful. You go across that life path. When we go across the life path from Mars, we're going to count 13 cards. And this is what we study. We want to study. We know a transformation card to the King of Hearts is the Ace of Hearts, right? So, yeah, becoming light as a feather, right, with that Ace of Hearts. So that's how we study the life path. We count. You're going to count from the King of Hearts to the 8 of Clubs, and you're going to drop down to the 6 of Diamonds, and 13 cards. The 13th card is the Ace of Hearts. That's a life path of the King of Diamonds, right? So get my book so you can follow along with us, and you can get a better understanding of how to read that life path. Everything is in the book. It breaks it down. And tools for everyday life is an add-on to that, because it also gives you some more depth, and then the astrology book too. Okay.
You just walked us into our next question. Can you give a brief synopsis on your books and any suggested reading order or purchasing order in terms
Um,
of attaining the knowledge.
yeah, this book, did my workbook right here, and then tools for everyday life, and then Cardology, Astrology, the fundamentals book. The fundamentals book gives you, all of the books have, something that's unique to them, but they're all written to tie back to the same thing. It's like if you were looking at the King of Hearts, it would tell you the attributes. I believe in it. I like to say attributes. So it would tell you the attributes of the King of Hearts. And then you would be able to have a better understanding of what the King of Hearts role really is. And then I have my other books that I wrote, like Celestial Patterns, that has 3 short stories on there that helps you to see how the combinations play together. Because combinations, relationship wise, you want to know the combination of the card. Excuse me. And that's based on the solar value. I mean, there's so much dope stuff that you can do with the cards. I mean, there is nothing that you can't determine with the cards. Let me see. I'm just all into myself now. I'm gonna go up here and try to do something else, Tony. I'm just saying. I gotta talk to Tony because she's about the one person in there that understands these old people's brains, right? Not that I'm old, but you know what I mean. So this is the solar value. This plate is, I am old. So anyway, this is the solar value plate, right? So when we look at this, we see that, and this is where numerology comes in. And this is about cardology, astrology, and numerology. This is where numerology comes in, right? All of the people in here that study with me use this plate all the time, right? And my book is written so you don't have to have software. Now, of course, we have Aquarius Maximus, all of her apps, and of course, I need you to get her apps because I have 14 grandkids, and I need her apps to be perfect. She don't have 14, but she has 8. Same difference. I need her apps to be going cha-ching all the time, right? So you use her apps. But for me, you want to, I'm old school. You want to be able to do this in your head. You want to be, if you're out and about and you meet somebody, you want to be able to use numerology to be able to see the attributes of that person. Like we look at, like I said, the King of Hearts, the solar value is 13, right? The Jack of Hearts, the solar value is 11. It's a master number. So we look at this solar value and we get a chance to break down the card with the solar value, right? I mean, it's never ending of what you can learn with cardology. It's like my card is the solar value is 34. That's 34/7. So let's let Khalil explained 34/7. Right, I could do it, but he needs to start talking too.
34/7. 34/7 is, well, one way to explain it would be communication. 3 is that creative energy, is that childlike energy, is communicating creativity towards the energy of the 4, which is foundation, which is algorithm, which is hard work. Turning that into the nature of the 7, it becomes a bit of a loner. It becomes a bit of a researcher. It becomes very intuitive. It becomes a bit of it can develop an aversion for the home because it 7s don't really feel at home in their own skin. And there's a lot of ways, a lot of pathways to get to that. But that 34 is it can be off-putting, but because it's not about other people, it's about yourself. But being able to communicate that in a way that is able to build and elevate the self is imperative. As
Yes.
opposed to like a 16/7 where you're talking about the 1 being assertive and bold, moving forward towards the home. And then you're kind of a little bit more at war with yourself, like the different paths are going to hit different.
And what's 16-7? The three of clubs, right? You hit, and the three of clubs is a war card. It is a war card, right? Because it's Mars Saturn. That's war all day long, right? So yeah, this is I'm telling you, boy, this is the holy grail right here. So this is why it's important to really understand what you're looking for. You know, what is it that you desire? Because as you desire, he said, I need to come to more of these for sure. I'm listening between work calls. I love that the three of clubs. That's my hidden power card. Oh, I know that's right, Cam. That eight of diamonds. So yeah, so what we're looking for, there's so many avenues to get there. And it's you know it already. I know you know it. You already know this stuff. We innately know this stuff. Now we're just coming together as community to be able to express it. You know what I mean? This stuff is innate. This is mathematics. This is science. And we're mathematicians and we're scientists. You know, as a child, I couldn't read. You know, if they had a test back in the day, I was autistic. I still am autistic, and just, you know, whatever. I'm neurodivergent now, right? And so they say. But I can read all of these things like it ain't nobody's business. Give me a book, it's gonna be a problem. Right? Because I can read now because of, you know, work and persistence and all that kind of stuff. But as a child, it was difficult because those words make no sense. If we look at, say, the word for, let me give you a word. Let's look at the word. I have a Cardology dictionary, so that's where I'm going to go over here, and we're going to pick up word. So if I'm looking at the word for grounding, the word for grounding is a five of diamonds, right? So that's the solar value, because what we do is we take grounding and we break it down in numerology, and it adds up to 31. Right? So every word has significance. So what does grounding really mean? What would grounding really mean, Khalil, if we're saying 31? Right? Isn't that deep?
Indeed.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it's communicating back to the one.
Yes.
You know, and then when you invert that for 13, that's the Messiah energy, which is also the center, like just like the circumpunk.
Mm-hmm. And it's 31-4, right? So when we do the compound, so yeah, each word is significant, and this is what our ancestors used, right? But what would that mean? The three of clubs is a karmic number since it's 16-7. Is a karmic number? I don't know.
In terms of karmic debt,
oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, when we look at that, yeah, when we look in the numerology, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the things about cardology. You know, I often describe it as the love child of astrology and numerology. That's really the elder that came back as a grandchild. You know what I mean? Like that's cardology. So if you understand numerology, if you understand astrology, this is going to turn into a playground for you, especially when you look at our people and the idea of, you know, spiritual meaning, spiritual adages, like, you know, playing your cards close to your chest. What does that mean spiritually?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like spades to me. It looks like bid whist. It looks like tunk. It looks like all these card games that we all know how to play, but we don't necessarily understand the power, the energy that we're literally dealing with. Like slamming a card down on the table. Like, what does that look like spiritually? You're trying to convey a message. You're trying to express, which is what the cards are always trying to do.
Yeah, you know, and we are like they say, play your hand to win, right? Play your hand to win. So we each have 13 cards. That's our hand. It changes every year, right? If we're going from the life spread at 0 to 8, so we go we have our pinnacle, which is 45, and the midlife, and so there is so many ways. I'm telling you, it's just vast, right? It's just so much for us to learn. And that's why I teach. I have a class the first week of November. It's a master class. Not, I just like that word because y'all are masters, right? But we're going to be getting into the weeds. We're going to be, like if we use examples, we were talking about something. What were we talking about on Clubhouse that you talked about, Khalil? Was Kobe and Shaq, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah, so we're going to do the combination of Kobe and Shaq. I did a combination. It's on my page. Not a combination, but we broke down. It's like 2 years ago. We broke down Diddy and everything is happening. These cards don't lie. They don't lie at all. And if we get it, we want to find something. It's like somebody ask me a question and give me an age. Just ask the question with the age, right? Or something with the age. Come on now, think, 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 think.
So if Diddy just turned 54? No, he's about to turn 55, right?
Or his birthday, yeah, he's a Scorpio, right?
Mm-hmm. That 52-day cycle, that critical cycle,
Mm-hmm.
um, in numerology, it denotes a certain vulnerability, perhaps we could say. But in cardology, we're dealing with 7 cycles of 52 throughout a year, right?
So I'm gonna go to 52 in cardology so we can see the significance of 52. And 52 is a critical year. It's called a critical year. It's a 7. 5 and 2 is a 7. But in cardology, the representation of 52. Let me pull up this. See, I'm in my book and I'm pulling up the grand solar square. So at 52, we are looking at let me see. Okay. So at 52 is a critical year. It's the year that you sit with God. It's what they call it. You sit with the King of Spades. So whatever is happening, it's that time where you really should have, done the work. You'll be going into your second Saturn return at 58, but at 52 is that year where you sit. So wherever that you're sitting on there, it's important. The work, that life path at 52 is telling you what you need to be doing, right? Because you're sitting with the King of Spades at 52, which is so we're saying that whatever you're displacing. So at 52, I'm displacing the 2 of diamonds, and the challenging common card was the 6 of clubs. So whatever was happening at 52 for me, that denotes the challenges I had with, of course, God, your higher consciousness is you're under review, right? You're under review at 52.
Yes, indeed, and that's the Saturn period.
No, Saturn starts your Saturn period starts right there, 52. So, and that's Neptune. So you thinking about 52 is Neptune. So that makes it more spiritual. So you're stepping into the next phase of your life. It's like you have 13 years of Mercury, 13 years. So you do 26 is your Venus, then 39, and 27 starts your Mars, 39, and you start in your Jupiter at 40, and then 52. So that's the crystallization. So that's why it's a critical year. A lot of people, have it is very difficult, and we can see their life later on what happened. Because if you didn't know how to do the work, at 52, what is Saturn crystallized? Saturn is crystallizing basically everything that you did. You have your 3 personal planets, right? And Jupiter is the societal planet, and so is Saturn. So it's the obligations. It's like people, you go to work in Jupiter, you go to school, it's higher education, and Jupiter makes everything bigger than it is. So you have the ability to do the things that you want to do, but you are doing it in the public. It's society. And the vast majority of people are saying, well, I don't really like, I don't want to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But you have a responsibility. This country works on us doing the things, and with Pluto going into Aquarius, we're going to be dealing with that because it's not about you. I know it's difficult for people to understand that. Mercury, Venus, and Mars is about you. Jupiter isn't. Jupiter is an obligation to society. So your Jupiter years is building from 40 to 51. So what you're doing in your Jupiter years crystallizes at 52. Right? So if you haven't used your Jupiter years to your best ability, at 52 is why it's called a critical year. Now you're under review with God, which is the King of Spades. Right?
Ooh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Our next question is, are Jack of Clubs women and King of Clubs men compatible? They're in the same suit, so that would.
But we can't, we really can't. That's you can't do it like that, and that's the thing. Let me go back to the pure spread. If we go back to the pure spread, there's so many different significant. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say, significators, right? That when we're looking at it, so we're looking at the Jack of Clubs, right? And we're looking at the Jack of Clubs attributes. So let me go over here because I can see it better on my phone. Relationships that's my judge, right? My boo is watching this right now, saying that's my I don't have him yet, but he's been watching me for a long time, right? I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, it's like, hey, babe. That cracked me up. Oh my God. So we look at the Jack of Clubs, right? Jack of Clubs is Venus, Uranus, right? So that already gives you, and Jacks are here to have fun. That's the whole thing about Jacks. They're here to experience life. And the Jack of Clubs is through communication. Jack of Clubs is definitely the keeper of the books, keeper of knowledge. And it has a supportive common card, the Ten of Hearts. So it makes it an outside card. Ten of Hearts is a card of gatherings. It's a master card. When we think of the Ten of Hearts, we think of, graduations and all of those things that people come together at, right? Now, the challenging common card is the Jack of Diamonds. Now, this is where it goes back to the pure spread, because the challenging common card is what you're trying to get back to. This is what you owe. So what does the Jack of Clubs owe the Jack of Diamonds, right? The Jack of Diamonds is reminding the Jack of Clubs what? Because the Jack of Diamonds is about resources, So but however the Jack of Clubs is in life, it has to learn how to use its resources, not for a better word, correctly. It points back to how the Jack of Clubs uses its resources. And that's Venus, Uranus. That's the second house, the seventh house, and the 11th house. So when we think about Taurus and how you do the things that you do, by the time you get to that seventh house, is the responsibility. And then Uranus adding on, that flavor of making it more, that outer planet that makes it more generational. So we think about the Jack of Clubs. That's a lot going on in that card. So when we talk about compatibility, we got to break down those attributes, because to see what that card is and what that card brings to the table, and it's still more, because when we look at it, the Jack of Diamonds is the Saturn card, right? So we think about you challenged by your Saturn card. So really, your challenging karma card it is the work, it's the rub with Jack of Diamonds, because Jack of Diamonds don't want to be. Jack of Clubs doesn't want to be challenged. Jack of Diamonds will challenge you, right? And Jack of Diamonds is a card of the United States. Excuse me. So when we think about compatibility with the King of Clubs, that is his Jupiter card, right? So that's the husband, and it's Uranus. So that Jack is ruled by Uranus. Jacks are ruled by Uranus, right? The number 11 in their master. So that gives it a chance for compatibility. But then we got to look at what is the planetary ruler. Is this a King of Clubs? Like we have a King of Clubs, Leo. So that's a double King of Clubs, and the Jack of Clubs is Cancer. That's a Jack of Clubs, Queen of Spades. There are too many variables, because a Jack of Clubs, Queen of Spades is not necessarily going to be compatible with a King of Clubs, Leo. Right? You see where that's going? So it takes on so many different aspects, because Jack of Clubs, Queen of Spades, that's a boss. Right? And if that's the divine feminine or the masculine, all of those variables for all of those. You said double Scorpio. So all of those variables, the Queen of Spades is your challenging karma card. Yeah. So there's so many variables to relationships. You gotta really know, and then after all of that is said and done, do you love this person? Because love rules all things, right? So, that does help you, but that's not until you meet the person. Once you meet the person, I would say yes, because they are Venus to each other in the spiritual aspect. So once you meet the person, then you can start looking at those things. But prior to that, yes, it's not going to work out. But, that's your son. So yeah, love takes care of all of that kind of good stuff in compatibility, but it's a great place to start. And this is the life spread. So like I said, this is what you want to know, because you looking for something, you want to know the relationship on the life spread. You want to know the relationship between those two cards. It being Jupiter, yeah, that's a husband relationship. That, and from that perspective, the Jack of Clubs is getting from the King of Clubs, right? Because the King of Clubs is the Jupiter card. So yeah, and those are two androgynous cards just out in the King of Clubs. Jack, that whole row is androgynous. So those are people who walk to a beat of a whole different drum. You add that in it, right? There's so many variables and attributes, right? Oh my God, it's 9:00. Ooh, child.
Yes, indeed. The time is flying. It is definitely flying.
It is. It's like I feel like the energizer bunny. You know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
The next question is, what's going on with someone who was born August 19th, 1997, 7 of clubs, age 27 in Earth years?
The 7 of clubs at 27.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go to the 7 of clubs at 27. Oh, I love this. See, I learned how to do this. I didn't know how to do this before. So 7 of clubs at 27. Let's see. So at 27 years old, this is my book. So you will open up your book and you will follow me on page 99, right? So you go to page 99 in my book, right? Right. Everybody has my book, right? We got 35 people in here and y'all all have my book, right? If you don't, you order it at 11 University. See it on there right now. It's on sale on 11university.com. So the 7 of clubs at 27 years old is displacing the 6 of hearts. Ooh, child. That's, when it has an 8 of diamonds, Mercury. Oh my God. Ooh. That's not a good year. Oh my God. It has its challenging karma card sitting in Mercury, the space of the 4 clubs. You talking about, oh my God. This is where spirituality comes in. This is got to be a very spiritual year. Now, the space in the 6 of clubs is 6 of hearts. 6 of hearts, sevens and the clubs and the hearts. Yeah, Mars, Tony, right? Oh my gosh, you talk about argumentative. If you have not stepped into your higher understanding, it's a very argumentative year, right? That's Mars. The 7 of clubs naturally sits in Saturn, Uranus, so that's a card that has a lot of friction. It has a lot of friction attached to it. So the challenging karma card, the 4 of clubs. The hidden energy of the 4 of clubs is the 8 of diamonds, and the 8 of diamonds is the Mercury. You need counseling. You need a reading. You need all kinds of stuff. So this year right here, oh my gosh, can you imagine? The sense of humor of the universe. This is a year where you don't want to get into any kind of debates with your siblings, right? This is a year where siblings will be coming for you all day long, and they're gonna bring receipts, right? And the 3 of diamonds being the Venus card, there's a space in the 2 of diamonds, and that's its transformation card. Man, I'm gonna be studying this. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow on we're gonna talk about this play tomorrow on Clubhouse. This is juicy. I mean, this is juicy. And see, at 27 years old, anybody who's 27 years old is going to be experiencing this. That's the beauty of it, is that your card is significant where it is, but you're going to experience this. The 7 of clubs is a reward card, right? It's the reward to the 10 of diamonds, right? And it's significant. Anything that you say, it's the mantra. It's Monique's card, right? And it's Whoopi Goldberg's card. So you can see it's the mantra. The 7 of clubs is about having the conversation. And however you having the conversation, and it being Mars, yeah, there's going to be a lot of conversations at 27. The 7 of clubs is going to be talking at 27, right? The challenging karma card is the 4 of clubs. So what do 4s want, right? So you're a 7, and that's ruled by Neptune, right? The last thing you want is a 4 to be challenging you if you don't know how to ground, because that 4 of clubs is talking about, grounding. It's talking about being more stable, whatever things that you're working on that year. But yeah, this is a tough one. I would not lie to you. This is tough. It's tough. You got the 8 of diamonds. Your challenging karma card is Mercury, your hidden power to the 4 of clubs. It's a very significant year. And if you get through this year spiritually, I think this sets you up for life, because the Ace of Spades is Mars. This is an initiation year on fire. It's displacing your Jack of Spades. Your hidden power, right? Jack of Spades. Is this a Jack of Spades or 7 of clubs hidden power? 7 of clubs, 40. No, Ace of Spades. Ooh, super. Ooh. Yeah. We're going to talk about this one tomorrow. This is good. This is a year to master myself all day long. She said, I feel it. I'm doing my best to think about keeping positive. Absolutely. You have to have good spiritual practices. It's like when you get up in the morning, before your feet hit the floor, you need to have talked to your higher consciousness for at least an hour. You want to wake up at least 6 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up every day and do spiritual practices, right? Because that's when people around the world are doing spiritual practices, right? And all out throughout the day, you want to get good mantras. It's like because the 7 of clubs, it sneaks up on you, Seven of clubs is, it sneaks up on you, and it can deal with your thought process. It's Neptune, and it's a club, and it's staying over processing it. The challenge by that eight of diamonds is what is the eight of diamonds challenge to the seven of clubs? It's to keep going, and to be able to take direction. You're a clubs are teenagers, and diamonds are supervisors. Seven of clubs has to be supervised at all times. I'm just saying, you will run amok if you don't. Oh my gosh, that's what I want to talk about. This one. Stay
Something else.
optimistic, right? Yeah, stay as grounded as you possibly can, right? She said, I notice my mind is my biggest thing. I'm very sensitive, and I notice when I take positive action, the universe is on my side. Absolutely, because it's a seven, right? When you stay in the spiritual realm, yeah, the universe, the seven of clubs is a very fortunate card, right? And it's a card that's well sought after. People will pull and pull and pull on you because it's the word. It's like whatever you say, it is supposed to be manifested, right?
Yes, indeed. Something else about that 27, Mama Diamond, is when you're entering the season of that first Saturn return as well, because that's only what, 2 years away.
Yeah, you're
So
in
it's
the
like,
shadow. Ooh wee.
so
Yeah.
like, just like the energy of a day is threefold, almost like a cusp. The energy before, the energy to come after. You can see that in that 27. It's almost like a precursor. It's one hell of a initiation.
Oh my God, that is key. I don't know.
The next question is, can you describe challenging karma cards and supporting karma cards?
Yes, I can. So let's go back to, I could do it now, boy. I could switch back and forth, and I ain't blow nothing up. You can't tell me nothing. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna created a monster. Oh my God, this is why I wrote the book, fam. I'm just telling y'all, get the book, get the book, get the book. So we could do this. We could have this conversation with a better understanding. So we're on page 6, and that is the pure spread, the life spread, 71. And if we look at, so we'll go to seven of clubs, since we were talking about the seven of clubs, right? The karma cards are the challenging karma card, and the supportive karma card. Now, supportive karma card is something we do well. We should do it well, right? Because it's something that's supporting us. But it also is twofold, depending on what side of the energy you're on. And the challenging karma card is the card that you owe something to. And when you, over time, you become the challenging karma card, and then you all have more access to the pure spread, right? So you think about the seven of clubs, challenging karma card, like I said, is the eight of diamonds. That's the sun. The seven of clubs is that mutual reception. The seven of clubs sits in the sun. It supports the eight of diamonds. And then the eight of diamonds is the challenging karma card. So when we think about sevens, we know, like I said, it's ruled by Neptune. Then it's a club. This makes it teenagers. The eight of diamonds is ruled by Saturn, and diamonds take time, and diamonds can be rough and prickly and all that kind of stuff. And the challenge to the seven of clubs is what? What would the challenge be from an 8 to a 7, Khalil?
The challenge from an 8 to a 7?
Yes, 8 of diamonds is challenging. Yeah, the 8 is challenging the 7.
An 8 challenging the 7, that's kind of like boss up, being able to maintain your energy field. The 8 is as above, so below, and it's essentially two zeros on top of each other. So to maintain that energy, seven being the mystic number of eight, is looking for a higher attainment, because that is ever present to that seven. So it's about being able to kind of step into it, to be able to see itself reflected in everything, as opposed to like this almost natural self-hatred a lot of sevens deal with. You know, that seven energy, it has to take a step forward.
Yeah, and yeah, because that's the challenging karma card. Um, and eight, that's about success. Saturn, it's your midhaven. It's the work that you do. And if we look at the seven of clubs being a reward to the 10 of diamonds, it's telling you the success is what? What is the success that the seven of clubs is trying to achieve? It's trying to achieve that crystallization, and it comes through the word. It's like celebrity. The 10 of diamonds is the card of the celebrity. Excuse me. The seven of diamonds is the reward. So it's about whatever you say, I'm going to be okay with it, right? You say anything you say is going to keep my name in the public, it's okay. But the seven of clubs can't afford that. That's Neptune. So being on the wrong side of the energy makes the seven of clubs a very dangerous person when it comes to their mouth. People can feel the weight of that. That's Neptune. That's spiritual. That's ancestry. So being on the right side of the energy, that Jack of Spades is the initiation. So, and it's the head of the royal army. So you think about the Jack of Spades and the power that it wields, and it's supporting that seven of clubs and understanding that you're going to be significant. You play a big role in that person's, initiation into the thing. Yeah, being impeccable with your words and that challenge, right? For sure. Yeah, seven of clubs is a complicated card. I'm not gonna lie. That's Saturn and Uranus. Saturn and Uranus, like I say, they're very good until they not, right? When they good, they good. When they not, they not. So yeah, they work, in tandem, because Saturn is the crystallization and Uranus is lasting. Uranus makes it stick, but also Uranus can kick it back, right? Uranus can say, no, that don't work. It's a generational planet. Once it sticks in Uranus, it's a wrap. But if it doesn't, if it's not the greater good, Uranus is your hopes and wishes. You sealed in Uranus, but if it kicks it back, it's a seven of clubs can be a very begrudged card, because things are not working out in a way that they wanted to work out. But it's because you haven't mastered that eight, right? So, yep, I've shot my load. It's after 9 o'clock. Oh my gosh, that was good. That was good. So, y'all want more of these? If y'all want more of these, y'all got to get the book, so we can have these conversations, because having the book gives you a better understanding while because the grand souls are the holy grail. It is what it is. Once we get a chance to see our life path play out, it's like you're looking at the synchronicities. You're looking at, it's like you may have a family member and you look at their birthday and you're like, oh, this person is a heart. Why are they so sensitive? They could be driving you crazy. And then you're like, I get it. They're so sensitive because of this. You get a chance to see. And that's on the birth, in the book, there's a page that has all of the birthdays in it. So let me go to that page for people who are not familiar with the card. So this is the birth chart that tells us our birthdays, right? So this one right here, it tells you everybody's birthday in the world, right? You look at the month, which is on the top. Let me see, I got to pull that down a little bit. So the month is on the top, and then we go to the day and we get a chance to see the birthday, and then you have an understanding. And if you look at this, this has a this has a pattern to it. So we start off in spade season, and then we go to diamonds, and then we go to clubs, and then we go to hearts. But if you look at spade season and heart season, there are less of people born in that season. Diamonds and clubs proliferate pretty much all throughout. Those are that's the workforce behind everything. The teenagers and the supervisors. But spades are the elders. And you see spade season starts in January and it ends July. So spade season, isn't a long season. We're dealing with spades weeks now because this is a 5 of spades week, and no, 4 spades week. And then heart season starts right at when spade season is ending. So we have, we'll look at it and you can get, you there's so much significance to this chart right here, right?
Most definitely. Being able to literally see where you are, where the energy is, and how you can utilize it to the best of your advantage.
Mm-hmm. That part. So, yep, sign up for the class. Then we'll learn how to calculate weekly spreads. Yeah, in the book, let me show you how to calculate your weekly spread. Good question. It teaches you how to calculate weekly spread right here in the book, right? So you go to this website, you type in all that information, and it shows you how to calculate your weekly spread. It's in the book, like the spaghetti sauce. It's in there, right? All of that is in there. Yes, this is why I wrote the book, right? Because, when we have, the knowledge, I know that the apps and all of that stuff is so cool, but they're so impersonal. I keep practicing until I got it right. I know, me too, right? So this is how you get your weekly spread. You go to iRod Martin, you put in your birthday, it tells you how many years you were living, and then you take the steps on the calculator and it tells you your weekly spread, right?
Yes, indeed. And we have just over a week until your Let's Talk Divination Masterclass, right?
Yes. Yep. We're gonna talk all things, there's so many different ways to express ourselves, and we want to be able to, you know, I remember, back in the day when I was working, look at me saying back in the day when I was working, dig. I was a trainer, right, and a facilitator, and I went to a class one time, and they said, it was a training session, and I was like, this ain't kind of making sense to me because they wasn't talking about a specific thing. It's like you go to training, it's like I want to train to be, a teacher. So it's all things teaching, right? When I went to this class, they said, no, you have to know everything. It's like you are taking this course and then you are going to worry about the teaching part. And that was like, and it opens us up to metaphysics. It's like, once we learn this, it opens us up to everything. It's like you're a master based on the things that you do. But in this country, it's like it limits us. It's like, I have to train for this. I have to train. No, you have to know what training is for. You have to know what's behind training, right? Training is for, there are different things that is going to open you up to understanding. So when you have the whole enchilada, then you get a better viewpoint on how to use these things. Because it's not, it may appear like it's going to be more than you're able, but it's not. It's once you get the understanding, that everything else clicks into place. And that's why I wrote the book, because the book gives you the understanding. It's like, if you look at this section, I went too far. Let's get to this section. Like this shows you how to read the life path. You read it from right to left, right? That's telling you how to read the life spread, and then you go over to here, and this is telling you in this section is breaking it down to another section is telling you this is about the kings and the queens, and it's giving you that. So everything in here is giving you an understanding of the attributes, right? So it's a workbook. It's a workbook for sure. So if you want to hang out and learn, this is the path that we take. This is what I use. I only use the grand solar squares. I do. I love the grand solar squares. So this is what I teach from, right? She said it shows you your north node, aka, yeah, that's your north and your south node. That part, it sure is. Your challenging karma cards are your north and your south node, right? Isn't that deep, Khalil? That's deep, right?
That's wild because it's showing you where you're going and where you came from at the
That's
same
it.
time.
Yes, it is. That the synchronicities are amazing, right? They are amazing. So yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out. You want more of these, let me know. If you want more of these teaching sessions, let me know by getting my page to where it needs to get to, right? What does it say I need how many views do I need whatever they're saying, because I don't know. I'm going to know now. But I have my watch time is 93.6 hours. But it's saying for me, I have to get, what do I have to get? I need almost 300 more watch hours. I have 3,000, or I have to have 3 million shorts, which I'm not 84 public short views, and I'm nowhere close to that. So, you know what I mean? If you're loving what this page is doing, then you got to make it happen, Captain. Right?
I think you're in for a surprise, Mama Diamond, because this the time release factor on Cardology has finally arrived. October is a preview for the following year, and if what we've seen, the feedback you've gotten, um, the work you and Aquarius Maximus are doing is imperative to the collective.
Who you mean, my
And
daughter, Aquarius Maximus?
yes, ma'am.
In case people watching this don't know, I just had to put that in there. Even though they should see she ain't as goofy with y'all as she is, but you should see the way we talk. Because I promise you, and she was talking today, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta fix that," because we be saying right and all that stuff 50,000 times. I said, "Yeah, that's my daughter." And we look alike, right? She gonna be 50 years old. I was like, I had her when I was 11. I know I don't like to tell that story, but I was very young. No, I wasn't. Oh my God, I have a 50-year-old. Oh,
Both of y'all don't age. I think both that's the only lie I think both of you have ever told. But don't get me started.
yeah, boy. Oh boy. Well, I'm 67, so it tells you I had her when I was 17 years old. So 50. That is just saying it is so unreal, right? You know what I mean? Oh, she's gonna be 50 in a few days, right? On 4 clubs.
Same birthday as my grandfather, my cosmic lesson. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Cam. It says there's tons of information she mentioned a while ago that came into fruition. Ooh, watch hours on. What's that infinite? It's starting to deuce. It's starting to click. Okay, deuce. Deuce says starting to click. Yes, I know that's right. Deuce is in the house. Yeah. See, we gotta get new people to come to the channel, fam. Y'all old heads. Who is new on here? Any new people on here? Any new people that didn't say anything? I got 27 people in here. Was there a new person that didn't say anything? Because everybody else I know. I know all of these people, right? So who is new?
Ashe 9 affirmations is new. Welcome.
You new? Welcome. Yeah, spread the love. Thank you for coming in. Let's get diamond to the goal. I know that's right. The other Gemini part of me is new. Oh, stop it, J Lo. J Lo, so crazy. Oh my goodness, Michelle Stanford. Hi. Oh, hey, cool. Yay. Thank you for joining. We appreciate newness, right? We're finally gonna get this to the masses. I mean, once you start using this, you're gonna be so amazed at what it opens you up. As we do our spiritual practices, we open up to the universe. And the universe want to dance at our feet. This helps the universe to, energetically, we're looking at mathematics. We're looking at scientific, irrefutable proof. Right. And you can't, there's math. Math doesn't change. A 1 is a 1. It doesn't change. So an ace is a 1. It doesn't change. Mars is a 1, because it's the first house, right? All of these things are tied together in cardology, but we have to do the basics. Once we do the basics and we start tying, especially if you already are familiar with these sciences, it doesn't take any time at all. I promise you. Everybody starts off with that look like, oh my God, and then it just clicks and you off to running. I promise you. Just hang out with us, right, fam? Just hang out with us. We've been doing this for a minute, but people jump on and they get in and they like, wow, they start ebbing and flowing and they be like, okay. And they become family overnight. Markia is a king of clubs. You knew Markia? Hey, Markia. Yep, she said, hey, cousin. You're going to start dreaming these cards. I know this, right? They're going to sit on your bed. You'll be like, what the heck did I dream about last night? And then when you look in card of a thing, you're going to be like, that's what I dreamt about? Oh, my gosh, right? Right, we can be where you are always. It's me. Hey, Coretta. See, everybody got so many names. They got names on Instagram. They got names on Clubhouse. They got names on everywhere, right? Got different names. So, yeah.
You better believe it.
Speaking of Mars, how do the 2 of clubs during the 13-year Mars period affect someone headed into their 30s? Good question. So if we look at the 2 of clubs, we're going to go back over here and we're going to go to, no, you ain't freezing now. You were doing good. Don't be making me look bad. Let me see if I can move back over my screen. Okay, there we go. Getting ready to say, don't do that. So if we go to the life spread, oops. Okay, here we go. We go to the life spread and tell people what you're talking about. So we go to the life spread, the 2 of clubs. I can't see on there. I got to go to my phone because, So the 2 of clubs, and you said which period? Let me see. I forgot what you said. Your 13-year Mars period. So 2 of clubs, Mercury period is the king of clubs, Venus is the jack of diamonds, and their Mars period is the 4 of hearts. So she asked, how is it going to, so you have the 4 of hearts and Mars. And your Mars period starts at 27 to 39. So that's dealing with all things in the home. The 4 of hearts is the cornerstone of our society. It represents the home. So the 2 of clubs, you might want to be nesting more. You might want to be doing things more close to the home. But the four hearts is Neptune, Mercury. So, you think about that planet as that Mercury is communication, and Neptune, is about that faith. And we think about the home, how things are always changing. It can be from one to, from the rooter to the tutor, dealing with home life and family life and stuff like that. So it's going to be about you really learning metaphysics, because the four hearts is an ancestor card. So you want to think about learning metaphysics to have a better understanding of how you're feeling, because it's Neptunian. It's about faith. And fours want to ground you. Fours want you to be grounded more, so being more grounded in your faith, but being as light as a feather, because you're dealing with the heart, and the heart is about being as light as a feather. And the four hearts is not a light as a feather kind of card. If you know of four hearts, they can be a little prickly. They're four energy, and especially dealing with the cards, the challenging common cards are four spades. You're four hearts, you're a baby. And four spades is an elder, right? So those two fours challenging each other wouldn't necessarily be difficult, but you add a spade to a spade's of fire. So you have that fire, and hearts of water. So yeah, that's a oof. That's a good one, right? So Ace of Spades is underlining card to the Two of Clubs. Yeah, so your life is about transformations, many deaths and rebirths. Is why I say Two of Clubs need to be raised well. They need stability. So yeah. Okay, that's it for me. You can take over, Khalil. That fried my brain, child. Ooh. Ending out with the Two of Clubs.
That's that luck in relationships. It's communicating on a much higher level, never really one dimensional, and that can take adjustment. That can take being. It has to take being open. Hopefully, being authentic, so those messages can reach their target, reach their mark.
Yeah, that's Saturn Uranus. That's a game changer. Two of Clubs is a game changer, right? So thank you, fam. This was so dope. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Yep, let's get to the next. Well, we're gonna get there anyway. Cardology is starting to really get to the masses, but it's a niche. It's a niche. Astrology, numerology, these are niches, and we get a chance to really be more, more. How would I say? We can govern it. We get a chance to put it out there in a way that it can be used beneficial, and not misinterpreted as something superficial. This is spirituality. This isn't about superficiality. Oh, I know a Two of Clubs and they da 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 da. You don't want to do that. People are bigger than their cards. You want to leave room for people to express themselves. The Two of Clubs card that is not a person. It's an expression. And when we learn how to use the cards as expressions, when we see people, we don't put them in a box. Because the Two of Clubs every card has too many attributes for you to say, this is how I know it because my mother was a this. No, you don't. Because the card that's in your hand is not the card that you are using as an expression, right? So thank you, fam, and I will see y'all on Clubhouse. For those of you, we're on Clubhouse every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Astrology Club. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Magic. Appreciate you. I hope that it has helped those who are new to cardology to get a better understanding. Like I said, all you got to do is hang out. Everybody was new at one time. I was new in 2001. And ooh, child, I was, man, I would pick the book up and put it down for months and go back to it and because I was just me. It's why I wrote books, and it's why I do what I do, because I want people to be able to have that community feeling that we have. My community is dope. My community has been so supportive. My books and everything come out of us having conversations and getting to know each other and all that kind of stuff. So join the community. We welcome everybody in. You're welcome, Jay. We welcome everybody into this community with love, right? We welcome everybody into this community, and we want you to, get the books and join us. And if you, like I said, if you want to see more of this, just let me know. Hit me up here on YouTube and tell me how you feel about the what we talked about and what things, me, I want more. I want people to express themselves more and ask more questions that what you having issues with, because I want you to be able to say, yeah, I have an understanding now, right? So get your questions to me. I'm on Instagram. You can DM me. I get DMs and videos all day long on Instagram. Right, J-Lo? Oh my gosh, she be frying my brain. She fried my brain yesterday. I was like, girl, she sent me some deep stuff. I'm like, J-Lo had me going. Oh, that was so awesome, right? So send me your questions and your comments and everything. I read them all. I do. I promise you, it is. And the videos that y'all send me are priceless. I get videos all day. If y'all go to my page, y'all know I'm the shenanigator. I love to share, and to reels is my zhuzh now. Because Instagram shadow bans all things. It's all things metaphysics, but they can't shadow ban the reels, right? So. And by the way, Instagram is a 3 of diamonds, but it is now ace of spades. So it's going to change drastically, right? It's in its turned 13. So now it is what is it? Instagram is now a 7 of hearts. Isn't that deep? Yeah, it's gonna be
word.
Oh yeah, that's why I got boundaries now. Did I tell you it told me I can't do what I want to do no more? So Instagram is officially a 7 of hearts. So people are going to be in their feelings. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. People are going to be like, what's happening? Yeah, it's a 7 of hearts, right? So yeah, it's not a 3 of diamonds. Each year we become, was an ace of spades. So I did no wrong on Instagram. Shoot, now you're coming for me. So yeah, this is what we learned, right? Everything has a card. So y'all enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will see y'all out here in these streets, fam. Peace.
Peace.
Oh my